Hey guys, welcome to Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovic. Today we are starting an 8-part preparedness video series here. We're in the middle of the coronavirus stuff. I'm sure it's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm going to teach you some of the things that are going to make that easier. Maybe not so much. You'll use some of this stuff for the corona stuff, but it's a way of life that's going to help convert it for you and make things not only save you a ton of money, but make life a lot easier for you for the next type of disaster or infection or epidemic or whatever it is. But we have lived this way now for about the last 15 years, and it's so interesting to see everybody struggle as much as they are when you don't have to. So we're going to break this down in over 8 parts, 8 different videos. This first one today we're going to talk about food, but there will be 8 sections of this, and I will get them out as quick as I can over the next, one a day, whatever schedule I can edit them and get them out there for you to help you out. So, but hopefully these will help make life a lot easier for you and get you along that prepared level to where none of this stuff is an issue. And we're not talking, tinfoil hat wearing people, and we're not talking Faraday cages, and we're not talking about buying 55-gallon drums of Mylar bags full of beans and corn, and we're not talking that. There's such a simpler way to live life right and save you tremendous amounts of money and have you prepared. So we're going to break down every category of it on these 8-part series. And like I said, we're going to start this off right now with part 1, which is food. When it comes to your food, again, jumping down here, okay, forget the survival food stuff, okay? Going out and buying storage foods that are good for 60 years and all this kind of stuff that you're going to pay hundreds of dollars for, you are never going to eat them. Okay, and even so, if you store them and then you don't eat them and then all of a sudden crisis hits, you don't know how your body will react to those, okay? Even, freeze-dried foods and dehydrated things and, mountain houses, and there's certain things that their bodies just aren't used to that, and they cause major diarrhea, major upset stomachs, cramping problem. Until you're used to that and you've tested this stuff, some of those can be pretty risky. So we follow a path and a simple solution, which is store what you eat and eat what you store. I learned that 9 years ago when I was listening to that phrase. I learned that phrase 9 years ago before I started doing podcasts, which I do a podcast as well. I've been doing it for 9 years called the Traditional Bow Hunting and Wilderness Podcast. I was listening to Jack Spiriko's survival podcast at the time. He recorded his in the car on his way back and forth to work before he made it full time. And that's what convinced me that I could do my podcast the same way and how mine started. But he used to say all the time, store what you eat what you store. Makes a lot of sense, okay? Understand this. So what that basically means is you're not wasting anything, and you're not buying foods that you're hoping that you may never have to touch and spending all that money on that eventually you have to throw out. Instead, you store what you eat what you store. So, for example, all of the things that you're normally eating, you just want to buy more. So instead of going to the store and buying 1 box of macaroni and cheese, 1 can of corn, 1 can of green beans, 1 can of baked beans, buy 3. Okay, you have 1 to refill your pantry up front in the house, and then you have 2 more that are extras. Next time when you need another one, go buy 3 again. Eventually you acquire to the point where you have 10 of each of these things. All right, so that's the key, is to store the stuff that you're normally eating, and then you eat it as you're using it. So that's the game plan with your food, is to have, basically, if you have a big pantry, like for us, you should have a row of, if you eat macaroni and cheese, which we usually eat once a week, something like that, Kraft macaroni and cheese, we don't have 2 or 3 boxes. We have 20 or 25 boxes of it. But we eat it regularly, so we're always rotating through it. Same with baked beans, same with corn, same with noodles. We make spaghetti usually once a week, or Alfredo, or some kind of pasta. For bow tie noodles, we have 15 or 20 boxes. For spaghetti noodles, we have 15 or 20 boxes. Okay, this is here because we store the stuff that we're normally eating. We just have more of it. All right, so that's the whole concept behind it. So whatever it is that you're normally getting, besides your normal refrigerator food, it's kind of hard to store, to stockpile milk and eggs and things like that. We get that, or produce, or fruits, obviously. You can dehydrate fruits, which is actually one of the best snacks you'll ever have too, but you have to buy a dehydrator, which, like I said, they're not expensive, but they're, we dehydrate a lot of apples and a lot of bananas. They're incredible snacks to have all the time. So we'll go buy 5 big bags of apples, and we'll go buy 10 things of bananas, and then we always get this stuff on sale, and then we chop them on a little food slicer where you slice them into chip size, we dehydrate them and we store them, and they last a very long time that way, and they're better than snacking on potato chips when you're watching a movie. So it's a great way to do it. But follow that rule. Store what you eat what you store. If you don't have a pantry big enough for this, which we do not, we have a pantry that's about the size of a normal closet. You know, you open our pantry door and it's, I don't know, maybe 8 feet by 2 feet deep is our kitchen pantry. Not as big as we need. We converted. So set up a pantry or an alternative. In our spare bedroom, that is just for guests, we have a closet in there that is about twice the size of our actual pantry. We went to Home Depot and bought those big metal shelving racks. We put 2 of those in there and a small one on the side, so we basically put shelving all the way around that spare closet, and then we have that set up as a secondary pantry. So in our main pantry, we have, using again the principle of like macaroni and cheese, we have 8 boxes or 9 boxes of macaroni and cheese that fills that row in our pantry. And then we have another, 18 of them or so that can fill the row where we have for macaroni and cheese in the back pantry, in our spare bedroom pantry setup that we have. When we take a box of macaroni and cheese out and cook it, we use it. When we go to the store and we have to replace that, we buy 2. One goes to, or both of those go to the very back of the line in our row in our back spare bedroom pantry. One of them comes off and goes to the front up there. So it's always rotating in and out as we're doing it. So it's a very simple process. And it will save you a tremendous amount of money because of the fact that we don't buy macaroni and cheese unless it's on sale. We don't buy any of these staple item food sources. We don't buy them unless they're on sale. We wait for that sale and then we go buy 8 or 10 of them or something like that because of the fact that it's, you're saving a ton of money. We use coupons. We wait for the sales, wait for the coupons, buy it then because we don't need to get it weekly. We don't need to get it monthly. We have it there and we're eating it regularly enough that none of it lasts more than a year in there anyway, a year, or more than that. So that's key. Store what you eat what you store. Set up a pantry. If you don't have a pantry, set up a spare bedroom, something like that. And then you buy it on sale. Get extras each time, especially in the beginning. If you go out right now and you go buy 27 boxes of macaroni and cheese, you're probably okay. But on the same note, if you build that up over time, you're rotating, which rotation is the key, you're alternating those dates. So if you got 5 boxes now, and then you buy 5 boxes in 2 weeks, and then another 5 boxes a month later, you're rotating those expiration dates so you never have anything that's expiring. Okay, everything is always good and fresh, so it works really good. So you want to build this up over time, but you can imagine how many things that we can store in there. And we do have things like powdered milk, things like that. We don't use powdered milk, but we always make sure we have, a few pounds of powdered milk in there too if we have to resort to it. It's one of those perishables. We're okay if we got to throw that out every 4 or 5 years if we have to throw it out. It's okay. So there are some things that you're going to want to keep like that, but for the most part, everything you can think of, cereals, we do the same thing. We buy cereals because I like cereal. So we buy the cereal, we leave the sealed bags and everything, and we store them in there. So at any given time, we have 8 or 10 boxes of cornflakes. I like cornflakes. My wife likes Special K. We have 8 or 10 boxes of these, unopened, untouched. No bugs can get in them. Nothing can happen. We take one out. We go buy it to the store. We buy 2. 2 of them go in there. The one that one we took out of the front gets replaced with one of those ones, and we always have that even total amount all the time. Use 1, buy 2, replace them. Okay, that's the way this whole process works. Sweet, simple, and easy. Same rules apply for your hygiene stuff. Again, you see right now everybody's hoarding toilet paper, hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff. That's great. In that pantry, we have stuff like that as well too. We have it we buy toilet paper in the big bulk packs, but at any given time, roll-wise, I would say we have 30 rolls of toilet paper. And it's not like we went out and hoarded it and bought it because of this emergency. We already had it. This stuff is already sitting there in there. Why? Because we only buy it when it's on sale. We like a particular brand that my wife likes the best. We wait, and when it hits a sale and we have a coupon for it, we go buy a case of it. And we keep this stuff in there, and it's always stored, and we have all these rolls, so we never run out. Same with paper towel, paper plates, hand sanitizer, tampons, toothpaste. At any given time, we have 8 tubes in a box of toothpaste there on a rack. So when we need a toothpaste and it runs out in the bathroom, we go grab one. Then we put it on a list. Toothpaste. When we go buy toothpaste, we buy 2 boxes. One that replaces the back one in there, and then one more to fill it up, so we got our one that we just took out. So it's always in that rotation, and it works like a champ. Same with garbage bags. Garbage bags are tremendous things to have, and you can use them for a lot of stuff. But if you, like during this pandemic that's going on right now, there's a good possibility that garbage delivery or pickup may not happen. You run out of the 5 garbage bags that you have in your house. What are you going to do then? You know, you're going to start chucking this stuff out the windows and just leaving it pile up and causing all kinds of problems and dysentery and things like that. Have garbage bags. That way you can stockpile those garbage bags of garbage and wait till somebody comes and gets them. You know, any of that kind of stuff, those staple items, your foods that are storable, your pantry type foods, stock up on this and have it set, but make it what you're eating already. Eat what you store, store what you eat. Okay, that's the game plan. That way you're not wasting any money. You're actually saving thousands of dollars a year by doing this, because you buy it when it's on sale and you get it for the right price. You do it right. And again, forget the survival foods. There's no benefit to them. You know, and we did it in the beginning. I mean, we bought, I don't know if it was Wise or who we did, but we spent about $350 when I first got into this kind of stuff, buying that. And we still have them. I don't know, they're tucked away in the garage somewhere, maybe in the attic, and they've probably been stored in 90-degree temperatures for more than years and years. I don't even know if I'd open them up and even want to eat them now. But it was pointless, and that's wasted money. When we learn to start doing it this way, we never worry. We are never out of anything. It's always here for us. So it's a good way to go. And then, now another option too, when you do get into bad times like this, refrigerator food becomes an issue. All right, I understand that. Not everybody has a lot of refrigerator space to use. If you are using, which I will cover with the water part and the energy stuff coming up in these upcoming videos, but one of the things I'm going to teach you is how to line the bottom of your freezers with water bottles. You know, your regular case-bought 16.9 ounce water bottles. Get those and line them in the bottom of your freezer. Let them freeze. They're going to freeze solid, and then they are going to be a source of ice that will protect your cooler or your freezer. If your freezer goes out, having those in there will let that thing basically sit there. If you put a blanket, a sleeping bag, anything like that on top of that freezer to help insulate it better, you can be without power in that freezer for up to 7, 8, 9 days and have no issues, because you have those frozen water bottles in there that are doing the work that you lost power to do. Well, one of the things you can do, as long as you have power to maintain that freezer during bad times like this, is you can take your coolers. Everybody should have a couple of coolers. Everybody probably does. But let's say you want to store more milk during, like right now with the coronavirus. You want to go buy 5 gallons of milk and have them. You can do that because you can take that cooler, your regular, just, you know, cooler you take to the beach or out on a boat. Well, you take that cooler, take, you know, the however many of those water bottles you need out of your freezer, line the bottom of your cooler, put your milk and all that foods and lunch meats and everything you want in there, and close that cooler, and again, put a sleeping bag on top of it. That will stay for a solid week. And then after 6 or 7 days, open it up, pull those water bottles out of there, take more out, you know, you replace those, so you always have fresh ones freezing in your cooler. Take the water bottles, the new frozen ones out of your cooler, or out of your freezer, put them in your cooler. Take the ones from your cooler, put them back in your freezer and let them refreeze, and you can do this indefinitely and keep that going and have a cooler. You know, you can buy a marine grade cooler that comes in for so many different purposes for like $80 at any Walmart, at any place you want. Amazon has them. In some of these videos, I might put some links down below for you. I do make a little money if you buy them from these links. I get a commission from it, but you don't have to. Go buy it anywhere you want to. If you want to get them from Amazon, down below, get them, click on the link, and like I said, but I'm not asking you to have to get them there, but I will give you some ideas. But you get one of those coolers, and like I said, you've almost doubled your refrigerator space, and all you have to do is once a week go out there and change the water bottles that are in it, put more frozen ones in. So it's a simple process. Another tip, pay attention to some of that stuff. Milk, for example. Milk is very perishable. Most of the time your milk is going to last for about 7 days, 7 to 10 days. If when you're in a store and it's looking like one of these times like what we did here with when the coronavirus hit, milk is not something that you can store very easily. Although we have powdered milk, but we like regular milk and we drink a lot of it. We went to the store and we know that the organic stuff that we do not normally buy, but the ultra pasteurized organic milks, for example, like right now as I'm recording this, it's like March 16th or 17th or 18th. I don't even know what day we are. But the expiration date on that milk we would buy today, let's say it's March 20th, the expiration date would be like March 28th or 29th or 30th. If you look at the ultra pasteurized milk, the organic stuff, some of those expiration dates are like June 1st, okay, May 28th. So they're good for a few months. So you can take those and, like I said, buy them, do that same cooler thing if you don't have extra refrigerator space, but do those in those coolers, and now you can put 5-8 gallons of milk in there and be completely set with fantastic milk to get you through whatever your issue is that you got to deal with. So when it comes to food, a little smart thinking, store what you eat and eat what you store, in a little proper planning, maybe a couple of those little things like I said with the cooler, in dire situations or anything like what we're currently going through, to add a little extra in there for you for the perishables. But other than that, your pantry or alternate of a pantry, our example of a spare bedroom, should hold everything you need to be able to have a few months of food in your house ready to go, where you're not struggling to buy stuff like this. So hopefully this gives you some good ideas on the food part. Now I will be back with another video. I'm going to record right away. We're going to try and get through these 8 videos over the next couple of days, and I'll get them edited and put it right out there for you. So hopefully it helps you out. So thanks for watching. We'll be back with another one right here for you pretty quick.